Disturbing memo reveals Trump's USPS chief has slowed delivery amid calls to expand voting by mail. Sabotaging the post office ought to be a felony. Louis DeJoy, the new USPS boss, is also the guy that got a $700 million PPP loan for his trucking company that was valued at only $70 million. Just 2 months ago he got the check, and now he's in charge of the USPS. That was fast. Source: https://www.salon.com/2020/07/01/ Former CEO of troubled trucking company that got huge COVID loan is now on USPS board. https://www. salon.com/2020/07/01/ Former CEO of troubled trucking company that got huge COVID loan is now on USPS board. Edit * from an astute Redditor, * not a PPP loan, but an emergency loan by the Department of Treasury. Your point still stands though. Louis DeJoy, a North Carolina businessman who is heading up fundraising for the 2020 Republican National Convention, was approved by the USPS Board of Governors to become the first Postmaster General in 2 decades who did not rise through the agency's ranks, The Washington Post reported. https://www. salon.com/2020/05/07/ Top Trump donor who gave more than $2 million to the GOP picked to run Postal Service. The Trump administration is corrupt to its core. And all Republicans are complicit. Isn't that outright criminal? Most places you don't have to mail your absentee ballot, you can hand deliver it, many times into a drop box at your local election board or clerk's office. If you're concerned about the post office but don't want to wait in line on election day, just get an absentee and return it that way. If you are not able to leave home, someone else you trust can deliver it for you. They may have signed something on the ballot envelope. If they do, you're still relying on them to deliver it in the first place, but remember, the people delivering and sorting your mail live in your community too, and their political views are probably representative of that community. There's no reason to believe they're going to fuck with anyone's ballot. This is criminal, not disturbing. Susan Collins, has he learned his lesson yet? Voter suppression. Trump knows people don't want him in office, time to make it so they cannot remove him from office. Do not mail your ballot in November. Hand deliver it to the election board or any of the satellite drop-off locations. Do not trust the USPS, with a freshly bribed Trump crony at the helm, with your vote. Very sharp family. In 2018, Ivanka Trump did not mail her absentee ballot until Election Day, which was too late for it to be counted. Her husband, senior White House advisor Jared Kushner, did not mail his in to begin with. First Lady Melania Trump did not sign hers, so it did not count, and President Trump got his own birthday wrong by a month. President Donald Trump's newly confirmed U.S. Postmaster General. That's all I needed to read. The fix is in. The United States Postal Service, an institution that predates the United States itself, is done. We knew this would happen. We called this out at the start. I just don't really see this working out for them. I mean, the mail-in process is weeks long and the postmark date is what matters, so just vote early. Your ballot will get there in time. Edit: check your state for specific details for what matters, postmark date, arrival date, etc. What I posted above is inaccurate. Corruption, treason, rape, fraud, greed. And his supporters think he is Christian. This dude is so fucking evil even the devil would turn his head twice. I'm a mail carrier. I'm terrified of what this guy is planning on doing to us. Delaying the mail is illegal. I'm not sure how he expects to accomplish this legally. They have started to implement this stuff. They already delayed a bunch of Amazon parcels this week in our office, which would have been an unforgivable offense if local management made that call prior to this guy. But I'm not especially concerned about mail ballots. There is nothing that the USPS takes more seriously than political mail. I fear that this guy is determined to sabotage the postal service as we know it, but I really can't see ballots being affected. People would resist and shine a light on any fuckery with political mail of any sort. In my county, the supervisor of elections drops off mail-in ballots directly to our facility. They also pick up returned ballots directly from our facility in the final days before the election. Can we please yank Trump out of office now? I don't think it could be any more obvious he is going to cheat and steal this election. They are going to steal this election. What the fuck are we going to do about it? It's just one fucking thing after another. It's incredible really. Fuck Trump, and fuck Trump voters. The GOP has been trying to kill the post office since before I was born. There are no two ways about it, this is an attempt to influence the election. Reform or revolt. Why are we using such diminutive descriptors as disturbing? This is a coordinated effort to suppress votes, and past disturbing some dozen other similar efforts ago. Each of us must engage with the electoral process and become active now, while we still have even the nominal right to vote. Rest assured you won't have it long otherwise. Biden needs to win with a blowout so these fucks can't rig the election. It's the only way because it should be clear to everyone at this point that they are cheating in any way possible to try and secure the election for Trump. This whole thing with the post office is so fucked, there are going to be so many bad actors at play doing whatever they can to fuck shit up. This is why Trump is attacking USPS. Voting. If we can regain control of our democracy, I'd like to see treason against democracy become a thing. Punishable by death, please. Intentional misrepresentations to voters to try to trick them into failing to vote, flyers suggesting that voting day is Wednesday, polling location has changed, etc. Otherwise legal processes intended to disenfranchise a demographic, felony charges, gerrymandering, poll watchers instructed to challenge certain voters. Intentionally making it more difficult to vote, creating long lines by reducing booths and staff, voter ID laws that are calculated to disenfranchise voters. If we're going to preserve our democracy, we need to protect the right to vote. If we don't, it isn't really a democracy, and people who actively and intentionally attack democracy are enemies of the state. Of course, completely predicted. The 2020 election and fucking. It begins. I don't know how else to put it, but America is officially fucked. Not saying you weren't already, but really fucked now. Fuck it, I'll risk my life to vote in person. If this guy wins again, we're all gonna die anyway. If you vote absentee, deliver your ballot by hand to your state's election board, https://www.usa.gov/election office. Use this link to find the election board website for your state. An address should be on each state's website. Do not trust the USPS to deliver your ballot in time. Trump has all but ensured the postal service will fail. If you don't want to risk mail-in voting, early in-person voting is also an option if your county has it. Wear gloves and a mask at minimum, and a face shield if you have one. Definitely not a fascist takeover of government. Now they're just crippling our communication and voting, that's all. They handed over power for a bribe, very normal. I don't understand the GOP's disdain for the USPS. You would think that the party that is all USA, apple pie, guns, tradition, would support one of the traditional government services that is great. There are only a few things that the US government has created that are truly great on a global level: the military, the National Park Service, and the USPS. It is unpatriotic to be against the mailman. Just to remind those that do have vote by mail, you should still be able to drop your ballot off at various locations. At least that's the case in Co. I'm a procrastinator, so while I always do vote by mail, I usually have to end up dropping it off at a drop-off box because I rarely meet the deadline for the mail-in option. It's still minimal contact, if any at all, and incredibly convenient.